You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hi there, General Hospital fans. So we have Sonny Corinthos' apartment blown apart, Michael Corinthos in flames, and badman Jenz Sidwell moving into Windermere across town. These are not coincidences. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I suspect Sidwell is the villain behind the bombing, and I'm going to tell you why. But if you're not following us already, please click subscribe. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty excited that GH brought in Carlo Rota for more than just that little desert storyline where Anna, Jason, Holly, and Lucky narrowly escaped death at his hands. Plus, of course, new Doc Isaiah Gannon was also his hostage for a hot minute until Lucky helped him get away. And then, because Holly Sutton stole his uncut diamonds, Sidwell pursued her to Port Charles, grabbed her daughter Sasha Gilmore, and swapped her for the diamonds. But Sidwell still tried to blow up Sasha and Jason, even though he got his gems back. So this guy can hold a grudge, and he's violent as heck. If you remember, we already knew Sidwell was back in town because he popped up at the church in mid-December, the day that Sonny went to see the priest, and Sasha was there too. The assumption at the time was that Sidwell was stalking Sasha because she's Holly's kid, and he came in and he sat behind her, but that may be a false assumption or only partially correct. Sidwell did come in and he sat a few pews behind Sasha after Sonny left, but we can't be sure which of them he initially followed to the church. Sidwell might have been stalking Sonny and then stuck around when he saw Sasha and decided to lurk near her. Now it's a couple of weeks later and we have Sidwell as the proud new owner of Windermere and Spoon Island, and he seems just giddy about it. And unfortunately, GH left us with a huge cliffhanger on Monday's episode with the bomb going off and Michael burning up. And then we found out ABC Daytime is preempting the Tuesday episode. So we're not going to get to see Jason rush in to try and save Michael until Wednesday when they play the episode that was supposed to air on Tuesday. The preemption on Tuesday is for President Jimmy Carter's funeral. So when we come back on Wednesday, I absolutely suspect Jason gets to Michael, throws a blanket on him, stuff like that, saves his life, but it may be touch and go, life and death, scary, third-degree burns, medical emergency, comatose sort of stuff, like barely surviving. That part remains to be seen, but since we were told they're not killing him and that they've left it open-ended, I think just in bad shape, a crispy critter. But here's the other big thing I'm expecting on the next episode, and it is about the bomber and about Jenz Sidwell. If you don't recall, on Monday's episode, or if you haven't seen it, Lucy Coe was telling him about everything, giving him some gifts because she's the realtor that brokered the sale, kind of flirting. And she stepped out onto the balcony off the living room with him and pointed out to Sidwell that from Windermere, you can see General Hospital and the Metro Court Hotel. And she told him Carly owns that. And then Lucy told Sidwell, you can see almost the whole Port Charles skyline from right here. Well, I don't know how well you may know your Port Charles geography, but she pointed out the Metro Court, and guess what's right across the street from the hotel? Right there is Harbor View Towers. That is where Sonny's penthouse is located, the apartment that just got firebombed. So then at the end of Monday's episode, Lucy left and then Sidwell got really weird. He skipped like a happy little girl across the living room, grabbed his glass of champagne, and then went back out on the balcony, looking back over the harbor towards Port Charles. I suspect he hustled Lucy out so he could be on the balcony at a very precise time. And I expect when we get the next episode, hopefully Wednesday, Sidwell is watching from Spoon Island to see the blast, to see the fireball as Sonny's apartment goes boom. It's pretty clear that, Sidwell is in Port Charles the same day the blast happens because he is the one who set it up. And I'm pretty sure I know why he tried to kill Sonny, because that's definitely who that explosion was meant for. And did you notice what he said when Lucy was talking about him getting out and socializing and meeting people? Sidwell told Lucy that he's going to be very busy with work. Well, there's no diamond mines in Port Charles. So really what his job is, Sidwell is a vicious, murderous, psycho criminal. We already know that from the events that happened in Africa. He's a monster. He likes to kill people over poker games. He was horrible to the miners that worked for him. He's just murderous, psycho scum. And that's why he wanted to kill Sonny, because if Sidwell wants to be the top criminal that controls Port Charles, then he needs to get rid of the current top criminal. And of course, that's Sonny. And I'm sure Sidwell would have also liked to blow Jason up at the same time, but Jason decided on the spur of the moment to go over there. So he was not the intended target. Michael wasn't the intended target. Sonny was the target. But, and Sidwell may have thought cutting the head off the snake by blowing up Sonny would make it easier to then take out Jason and then take over all the illegal activities in Port Charles. So I think Wednesday, we're going to see a wicked Sidwell grinning as he watches the bomb in Sonny's apartment blow sky high. He'll be able to see it from the balcony at his new castle. They didn't put Sidwell and Lucy out in New York State's chilly winter air on that balcony for nothing. And you know what else? Do you know who's to blame for Michael getting blown up? I mean, obviously Sidwell, because I think 99% he's the bomber. But there's a person who put the idea in that creep's head to come to Port Charles. That's Holly Sutton. If she hadn't stolen those diamonds, Sidwell never would have chased Holly to Port Chuck, and he wouldn't have seen, hey, this might be a good place for me to start my next criminal enterprise. So I just wonder if Jason and Sonny are going to realize that at the root of it, Holly's actions led to this horrible, fiery tragedy that Michael suffers. I mean, we all know Holly always causes trouble, and this is big, big trouble that she's brought to Port Charles because Sidwell is staying. Although he is, not in the opening credits yet, I do expect that he will be soon. And I think Carlo Rota may actually be on contract or major front burner big recurring. I suspect contract because he has a key art image they just revealed on the ABC press site. And here it is for you to see. The pictures they do for all the stars that stick around? There he is as Sidwell. So buckle up. It is gonna be a bumpy ride. Spoilers for later this week have Sonny looking for answers about who set the bomb. And he's not going to be looking anywhere but locals. He'll probably be looking at maybe Selena Wu, maybe Cyrus, maybe even Ava, thinking this is some kind of desperate custody bid. You never know, but I don't think he's casting his eye to this guy that he doesn't even know. And you can tell that Michael saw the bomb, by the way, moments before it detonated. It caught his eye, he looked at it, and by then it was just too late. I think Sidwell did this.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.